G'day guys, welcome to the Tripod where we break down every NFL game every week from a punting perspective. I'm not truly live to you this morning on a Saturday morning like we usually are. Because I'm on my own today, Alex is away, I thought I'd cut together a little short, sharp video. I'm recording this less than an hour before it will go live. I've scoured all the markets, I've found a bunch of best bets. In fact, I've got at least one best bet on every game in the NFL week 11. So looking forward to it. And because I'm on my own and because we've been on a skid, I'm really excited because I'm going to turn it around and then I get to take all the credit. So let's get into it, guys. Cheers. One more thing, guys. I've chucked this video in the front, but I've just recorded a little, basically averaging 30-second breakdown of every NFL game. So this whole video goes for less than 10 minutes. But what I didn't do was actually verbally say every single best bet. I had them written in text as I was talking about the game. So that's cool for everyone watching. If you're listening, just find the list of best bets on the Tripod app. By the time you listen to this as a podcast, the full list will be available on the Tripod app. Okay, let's get into it. Rapid fire. Let's go under 10 minutes for a pod. How good's this? Cowboys, Lions. Key factor for me, Matt Stafford is still out. Jeff Driscoll cannot move the ball much against this Cowboys team. I still think they're underrated. Yes, they lost on Sunday Night Football at home to the Vikings. That was a close game. They were favourites live betting to win that game when they get a first down 20 yards out and they're down 4. They fell short, but Minnesota's a good team. Cowboys are only 6-5. They'll bounce back here. They should be way too good for the Lions. Okay, the Saints at the Bucs. Look, I don't want to lay this number of points on the road with the Saints, but coming off a loss, and I still believe this Saints team is just about as good as any in the land. They should rebound here. I think the offense rebounds after only 9 points against the Falcons, and the Falcons, doubled up their season sack tally in one game. I don't think the Bucs get that amount of pressure, but the Saints missing Marshall and Lattimore, I don't know how they're going to stop Evans and Godwin. Winston can throw pick sixes, but he can also fling it around to his own guys, so I do like the over in this game. And just spoke about the upset that the Atlanta Falcons caused. And we did warn you last week. I said, don't assume that the Saints are an easy win. Falcons got a massive upset, 14-point dogs. But that was after a bye, and I feel like that was their Super Bowl. Now I don't know if they're going to bring that show on the road or if they're going to kind of exhale, because at the end of the day, it's still a lost season. The Panthers, tough loss for them, but impressive performance at Lambeau Field. They get within half a yard of maybe tying that game against the Packers. And I think the Panthers here are the better side. Kyle Allen playing well, the defense playing well. They should be able to cover the number. So Jags at Colts. We've got the Colts off a very disappointing home upset to the Dolphins where Brian Hoyer was under center. Brissett was out, but he is back for this one. I know they want to rebound. The Jags also looking to rebound off a debacle over in London. Then they've had the bye. Key factor for me, Nick Foles comes back into this Jags team. Still plenty to play for, because you want to see that big money acquisition is worth it. I think that re-energizes the team. And the Colts, I wonder if they get a reality check that their season, they're not going to go too far this year, ultimately hampered ever since Luck retired. So I like the Jags, and we can get a mechanical +3 key number like Jacksonville in this game. Broncos at Vikings. To me, this is a game about the Vikings off a signature win. They are pushing not just for a wildcard spot, but to still win their division. And you've got the Broncos. Yes, they're off a bye, but it's Brandon Allen's first road start against a pretty fierce defensive unit and a great head coach. And I don't think the Broncos stand much chance in this one. The Jets at the Redskins. Well, these are both putrid teams. Redskins are off the bye. Haskins is going to be starting this one. And while he should be well prepared with that extra preparation time, the one thing that the Skins want to do is run the ball. That's the one thing the Jets do well is stop the run. I don't know who's going to win this game. The Jets as an underdog, I think that they can keep the Redskins at least a 20 or less. Bills at the Dolphins. Well, these sides played just 2 or 3 weeks ago. The line was like -17. Bills at home, and the Dolphins nearly won the game outright. And I know the sharp play might be to take Miami now, playing so much better recently. But in terms of talent-wise, this Bills team still should be too good. I don't think Miami has a strong home advantage. The Bills need to rebound, get a win, and still pushing towards the playoffs. I think the Bills can cover under a touchdown. Texans at Ravens. Well, this could be the game of the round. There's a couple beauties this week. And this is not just a battle for a playoff spot. This could be a battle for a top 2 seed in the AFC. We know what these guys are doing. I mean, Lamar Jackson has been unbelievable, obvious MVP candidate. Don't forget about Deshaun Watson, who's had a stellar season too. We talked about JJ Watt out. It's all about the Texans offense. I love the fact they're off the bye here, so they get 2 weeks to prepare for facing Lamar. Maybe they can slow him down a little. Did you know Deshaun Watson's never lost a game by more than a touchdown since high school? So at least they can keep it close. We're getting a decent amount of points in what should be a great game, taking the Texans. Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers, one of the Super Bowl favorites this year, the way they've been playing, but they had their undefeated streak broken. Monday Night Football, it was a rip snorter of a game, and we were on the Seahawks in that one. And sometimes teams like a long winning streak that gets snapped can be flat the next week, but I think that they're still going to need to be up for this one. Divisional game, the Cardinals within 3 points against them when they played just 2.5 weeks ago. I know that Sanders is out, Kittle is out for 49ers, most likely, but I still think they just dominate the game, both lines of scrimmage. They should be too good at home. I think they should blow out the Cardinals. New England Patriots at Philly Eagles. This is going to be another one of the can't miss matchups of Week 11. It's a Super Bowl rematch, of course, from a couple of years ago, and if you want to call it a revenge factor too, because, of course, the Eagles got the chocolates in that Super Bowl. Patriots are off a bye. In fact, both sides are. So you're giving Belichick 2 weeks to stew off a loss against the Ravens and to maybe get revenge at Philly. I think that this Pats defense is the real deal. I do think they restrict the Eagles. 3.5 seems like a fair bit of points to lay on the road because I like the Eagles too. I think their defense is getting healthier. So I've just got the one play on an Eagles under. The hapless Cincinnati Bengals travel to Oakland and face the Raiders, who've been surging in 2019. Gruden getting it done, overachieving every week. This is their last season playing in the city of Oakland, and the crowd is actually into it. They've got a side to be excited about, and I think two teams heading in completely opposite directions. The Bengals pretty much, I reckon, have got one hand on the number one overall pick. The Raiders, I think, after a number of close losses, a number of close results, a number of games on the road, this is one where they're just going to completely destroy their opponent. I could see the Raiders winning this one big. Chicago Bears at the Rams, Sunday Night Football. We might remember this one last year. The Rams were pretty dominant, but this was a game where they got completely stopped. I think they lost like 15-6 in Chicago. It was Sunday Night Football as well. And look, the under feels obvious in this one, but it's gotten so low. You've got two really good defenses and two horrible offenses, but so much has been made of how bad both offenses are. I wonder in a primetime game if it would do them a world of good to actually have a few good drives, put up some points, and really silence the critics. I don't want to take that under now that it's gotten, to 40 or below. I do think the Rams are going to be too good this one, but it's a steep price to pay. They've got offensive line issues. So I don't have a best bet on this game. I know I said I have one on every game. This is the exception. No play at this stage. Maybe a same game multi. And finally, Monday Night Football. We have Chiefs and Chargers. Neutral venue. This is in Mexico City. If you recall, last year we were meant to get a game in Mexico City, and I think it was a Shakira concert. The stadium got ripped up. They had safety concerns. It ends up getting moved last minute back to LA. So now we get a game in Mexico. So that's always an unknown when you're traveling to an unfamiliar environment. Ultimately, if you look at these teams on neutral, I think the Chiefs are the better team. I think Mahomes, now recovering off that injury, was back last week. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's been out a lot of this year. You've had the defense has improved. This team is trending in the right direction for the number of losses they've got so far this year. When you could excuse a lot of it. Even last week, they completely outplayed the Titans and didn't win. This team is a massive sleeper. I think they should be too good. And I think Kansas City is probably the best value team in the NFL right now to win the Super Bowl based on the odds if you're getting, double-digit odds. So I like the Chiefs in this one to wrap it up. That will do it, guys. I hope that was all right. It might have been a bit intense. You had to stare at my mug for probably far too long. I hope I wasn't yelling at you, and I hope I still gave you some good insights. Full list of best bets will be posted on the Tripod app right now, along with the multis. You know the score and you know where to find all our gear, and you can also jump into the group to interact and discuss. I'll also be interacting with you guys in the comments on this video. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and have a great weekend. Cheers.